Salut tout le monde, c'est Fog et on se retrouve aujourd'hui pour un live sur T. Attendez un petit peu. Voilà. J'avais oublié d'enlever le son de mon téléphone. Il va falloir que je commence à faire ça. Il n'y a plus l'air d'avoir de problème de son du tout. Fait que. On se retrouve aujourd'hui pour un live sur Tale of Arise. Et on va continuer l'histoire du coup.
Ah, quoi?
Hop. Voyons voir. Faut qu'on se rende. Ici. Sandra sur Ivan. Ok, ben on peut se téléporter à quelque part ici. On va se téléporter là, on va se donner un petit peu de portée. Ok, il m'a baissé un petit peu le son de ma TV aussi. Voilà. Fait que là, on est du coup en train d'essayer de retrouver le vaisseau spatial.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were burning holes in us?
Ah, ok. Comme je disais, comment dire. J'avais oublié à quel point, quand même, la lave était bien faite ici. Ça, puis le feu. Pas mal la seule place qui était encore avec des grosses marques de feu partout. Ok, fait que comme je disais, on cherchait un vaisseau spatial pour aller à Lenegus, le dernier live, après avoir fini toutes les quêtes secondaires qu'on pouvait faire, qu'on pouvait finir du coup. Fait que je suppose qu'on va avoir beaucoup d'ennemis puissants qui vont se mettre sur notre route après.
This is where you and I first fought together.
And also, the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
Ils s'étaient touchés. Ah oui, c'est vrai, ils se sont touchés ici à la sortie. Ils sont pas touchés avant. Ben, du moins, je pense pas qu'ils s'étaient touchés pendant qu'ils étaient dans la caverne.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law.
Hop, on va ramasser ça ici. Axe Breaker! Et je pense aussi, comme d'habitude, on se ramasse avec pas beaucoup de... Crimson Crow! Oh! On est dans le volcan. Berg Volcano. Fait qu'ici, les pouvoirs d'eau vont probablement être pas mal prioritaires par rapport à peu près n'importe quoi. Là. On est quand même dans un volcan.
So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast.
Ok. J'espère au moins que vous entendez pas le son qui se passe dans la cuisine en ce moment. Hop, skill panel. Oh oui, c'est vrai, il y avait bien des points à attribuer à certains personnages. Voyons voir, qu'est-ce que je peux aller ramasser? On va ramasser ça ici. Ramasser ça. Pourrait tellement ramasser ça puis avoir un bonus de pénétration de 40 qui va remonter à peu près 75. À peu près, je dirais. Ok. Ça devrait être... Ah oui, il aurait fallu aussi que je prenne le KO Prevention. Ça aurait été utile sur lui. On va voir. On va ramasser ça ici. On va ramasser ça là. Je vais ramasser ça ici pour avoir un bonus du coup en pénétration avec elle aussi. C'est pas mal. Sérieux, il faudrait que je pense à commencer à en mettre là-dedans. C'est très vieux ce ring-là. Même affaire pour celui-là ici. Voyons voir. Dolly m'a moins de points à attribuer, mais je devrais quand même trouver des bonnes affaires à donner. On va ramasser ces deux-là, puis on va y ramasser celui-là ici. Ça lui donne un bonus d'attaque de 60. Quand même pas pire un bonus de 60 honnêtement. 9. Avec 2900, je pourrais essayer de... pénétration 80. Attaque 50. Je pense que je peux... Ouais, je peux faire ça très facilement même. Voilà. Toi ici. On va ramasser ça. Priorité. Oh. Je vais ramasser plus de munitions à toi. Fait que ça fait pas mal le tour. Mes items, du coup, je lance à ça. Ah! Ça devrait pas être tant pire. On a 4000 seulement en banque, fait que, anyway. Well, there's no way we're climbing that. Well, there's no way we're climbing that. So it seems. Allow me to step in. Wait, you're not thinking of trying to vault over with your rod, are you? Why? I hadn't even thought of that. In any case, stand back, I'll handle it. Là, c'est simple. Ce qu'il va faire, c'est hop. Il a utilisé son staff, mais c'est juste.
Grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much.
Ouais. C'est sûr que c'est pas un rôle excessivement plaisant à imaginer, j'imagine, pour Darling qui est.
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara. Raging Cascade!
I'm just getting started. Elusive deity.
Raging Storm!
Hitting pile driver.
Tunnel!
Eagle
Raging
ray.
Cascade!
Voilà.
Begin.
Not on my watch!
Et c'est plus celui-là ici que je voulais.
First strike.
Hop.
I won't give in.
Voilà. Boum.
I'll grind you into dust.
Now!
Voilà.
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Boum.
Look sharp. Elusive deity. Demon land.
Boum.
Hitting pile driver. I'm just getting started. Does it hurt? Take this. See what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have.
Hop. Ouch. Ok, j'ai pas pris bien de temps pour soigner, mais en même temps, mes skills de soin sont pas placés à la bonne place avec Darling. Hop. Je veux avoir... Cure ici. On va remplacer ça par... Bloody Howling. Non, on va mettre exécution là. Puis à la place ici, on va mettre... On va mettre Air Pressure. Voilà.
Well, looky here!
Et on va ramasser ça ici. Je me fais observer par Sparky en ce moment. Évidemment, il fera pas un seul commentaire, il va à quelqu'un direct après, mais je me suis quand même fait observer pour je sais pas trop quelle raison. J'imagine qu'il voulait me voir si j'étais pour réagir.
Je jugeais son setup.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a comme problème avec mon setup? Ce que je signale, la plupart du stock que j'ai sur mon setup, c'est vous autres qui l'avez foutu dessus.
Je crois que c'est une chose qui l'a fait dessus.
Je te rappelle, je te rappelle qu'à chaque fois que tu viens pour jouer à la Switch, je me ramasse avec une manette de plus sur ma table.
Can you pesky airborne scoundrels?
Non, je juge ton setup dans ton jeu.
Ah! Ah, ben,
Je pas le setup de la table.
Comment veux-tu que juger le setup de mon jeu alors que tu joues pas à jeu?
C'est simple. Je juge.
Punch!
We may get out of this alive after all.
Yeah, things were looking bad for me.
Voilà.
Pretty sure we can handle
Et là, à cette heure, on va se faire un petit peu de soin. Tire-y dessus! Oups! On va soigner les autres quand même un peu aussi.
Don't mind if I do.
On va soigner l'art.
Far beyond the darkest
Elusive deity.
Sweet mouth.
Allez.
What's the secret to being as strong as you?
You're pretty fierce on your own.
Voilà.
Well, maybe.
Donc on a tué le dernier.
Go.
Je pense aussi il y a une autre attaque que je peux changer sur Dueling du coup. EO Rage. Ouais, j'ai Tornado Dive, je peux mettre ça à la place. Demon Lance peut la remplacer par Sonic Spear. Puis après ça, Rotating Tornado!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Ah, ok. Hop! C'est pas ça que je voulais. On est quand même exploré à peu près partout, il y a un coffre ici.
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Can't get out of this. I'm on it. Lightning vortex. Press it down. Are those rockets?
Illuminate the storm.
You're mine.
Come forward.
Elusive deity.
Holy land for the weak point.
Charging us. Stop me.
Remind me to stay on your good side.
I'll smash you.
Boom!
The enemy wields art.
Hop! Hop!
See about that.
I'll crush
Ok, nice! Ça devrait faire quand même pas mal de dégâts ou à ces golem-là.
Tenebrous claw. First strike.
Ok, voilà.
Descend. Flashing bang. Easy.
Voilà.
Go.
Elusive deity.
Confiscated.
Now I'm in the groove.
Chain between heaven and earth.
Voilà. Voilà.
Bring the home stretch, guys. What you say?
Eyes on the prize.
That focus goes double for you, Law.
Me? How come I get singled out?
A whirling treble. Hurricane strike. Winds of heaven. First
Hop! Punch-le!
Look sharp.
Can you take it?
Voilà.
Demons descend.
Et on va l'achever comme on l'a achevé l'autre. Parfait. Hop.
This one's all law.
On va ouvrir le coffre. C'est quoi qu'il doit avoir dedans? Une armure? Oui! Une... Oh! Une armure de gothique! Tu vas devenir gothique, chienne! Du coup, est-ce que j'ai une tenue qui pourrait faire gothique sur toi? Je dirais que Noble Azur fait déjà pas mal gothique. Alors, on va y aller avec changer un peu les armures du monde. Ça fait un bout de temps qu'on les a laissées relativement similaires. Tout sauf par contre ces tenues-là. Mettre Talfem de même. Et aussi on va éviter de mettre Dohalim comme ça. On va mettre Dohalim en mauve de même. Soit c'est pas tant pire ça regarde, mais on va éviter. Puis Kisara peut retourner sur sa couleur habituelle. Y'a-tu de quoi de nouveau que je pourrais y mettre? Non, moi le laisser avec ce bouclier-là, ça y fait tellement rien. Oh! Supreme Brass Knuckle fait quand même relativement beau, ça aussi. Ça avec une tenue en... Une tenue verte, ça devrait bien aller. Ça fait longtemps qu'on n'avait pas changé nos couleurs. Ok, chiant, c'est quasiment comme si on l'avait pas changé de couleur. On va la mettre... on va la mettre demain. Ça fait une éternité que je l'ai pas mis de même.
Got some good equipment.
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Bon, Dohalim n'aime pas les gothiques. Apparemment, il aime pas les gothiques. Pauvre de lui. Ben, je peux pas vraiment dire que j'aime bien plus les gothiques moi-même, fait que... Pauvre de moi aussi, j'imagine, pour le coup. Je vois pas vraiment l'intérêt des gothiques.
Get in, get out. Elusive deity. Flame inside me. You're to be let free. No further.
Dance in the wind.
Ah!
One's mine.
Ah, ça va bien.
Don't worry. I'll grind you into dust. Catapult. Reflect on thy sins. They smite with
Allez!
That's my cue.
execution.
Shut him down.
Begin. Denied.
Hop!
Elusive deity. Soaring blast. Lightning strike. Tornado
On va faire ça ici. Hop! Voilà!
Frozen.
Hammer!
Nicely done.
Boum!
I'll see what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that. Breath of life. Heal my weary companion. On your knees.
On va faire ça ici. Hop!
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Boum! Ça a tué les deux en même temps.
Is there anything more magnificent than the musculature of a warrior? Perhaps it is in search of this perfect beauty that I myself am drawn into battle.
Il est en train d'admirer les muscles de l'or. J'aurais pensé qu'il aurait fait un commentaire là-dessus.
Now you see what I can do! This one's mine! Reflect on thy sins. They smite with blackened blade!
Hop! Voilà.
Hegemony flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
On va aussi changer un peu ici. Je commence à être un peu tanné de tout le temps avoir les mêmes. Elusive Deity, on peut prendre. Et Crescent Flash. Non, c'est vrai. Elusive Deity, c'est celui pour monter. On va prendre Crescent Flash et on va remplacer celui-là par celui de Tariq Captivity. Oh! Vraiment efficace, ça.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. You don't mess around.
Now you see what I can do!
Certainly not.
I call upon you.
Captivity! Hurricane strike! Heal my weary companion!
On va soigner un petit peu.
Make it rain!
Et hop! Voilà! On l'a achevé avec un spell.
Hey, Poodle's quivering. I think we're about to be real lucky. My face is starting to sting, and my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too?
Oups!
Captivity! Piercing roar! Dragon! I'm just getting started!
Voilà. Voilà.
You have to aim for the bright area on their back. Only one! Chain between Pixel's points. Glad you have your uses.
I'll show you how useful I can be here!
On va soigner l'or. Et après ça, on va faire un spell de durée. Allez, punch!
Following struggle.
Go break! Boum! Voilà! Boum! C'était un beau combo cette fois-ci.
Fast you managed to keep up.
Don't patronize me!
Don't patronize me! Oh, beaucoup d'argent! C'est nice ce coffre-là du coup. C'est fun quand on obtient des très grosses quantités d'argent. Je pense à ça, j'ai pas enfermé mon chat aujourd'hui. Pas pour le live. Mais je le vois pas nulle part.
Is this a joke?
Ah!
I'm on it! Elusive deity! Soaring blast! If it curls up, time to get out of the way! Can you take it?
You've got flyers.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours.
You see what happened there is
Il y en a beaucoup qui sont faibles aux vent ici. Boum!
Can you take it? Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Voilà. Out. Allez, chiant! Hop! Ouch! Je vais taper sur ça ici. Allez!
How do you like being pounded into shape?
Voilà!
Make it right. I'll stop you.
Voilà! Boum! Boum! Allez!
In here.
Here, just on the way.
Voilà!
This one's got your name on it. Hold on to your arms.
Et on va l'achever. Voilà! Boum! Et on l'achève en montant. Voilà! Je voulais l'achever avec un spell, mais le spell a pris juste trop de temps à s'activer vu que j'avais pas de combo d'enclencher. Hop! C'est ça ici que je veux. Oh! Des Transcendent Pedal à niveau 5. Ça c'est un raccourci pour aller là plus vite. Franchement non, c'est par là-bas qu'il faut que j'aille. Oh, fight! Du fight! Du fight! Du fight!
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Allez! Oh!
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
Oh! Là, elle est morte. Voilà. On va utiliser Regenerate. Pas Regeneration, mais Resurrection. On va ramener là. Ouch. Au moins, il a été soigné.
I'll take you all on.
Il devrait les stun toute la gang, ça, j'imagine. Hop! Boum! Boum! Elle me prend du soin! Voilà! Ah! Boum!
Looking good out there.
Just getting started.
Voilà!
Take no prisoners.
Ah là, c'est ça que... Non, c'est pas que ça que je veux. Voilà! On va faire ça ici aussi. On va soigner quelqu'un. Voilà.
I don't have much left.
On va soigner qui ça, à cette heure? Boum. Voilà. Boum. Si vous pouvez le tuer, comme ça peut... Ah, ok, ils l'ont pas tué à temps, fait que mon spell... Ben, c'était le dernier en vie, fait que c'est pas grave. Je pensais qu'il y en avait encore un autre en vie en arrière. Une brigandine, ça, on sait que c'est pour qui ça, hein? Mais c'est pas bon, une brigandine! C'est quoi, ça? C'est moins bon dans tous les aspects!
Might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Désolé que ça... C'était censé être pour toi, mais c'est moins bon que ce qu'on a, alors... J'ai pas vraiment envie de faire demi-tour. Mais en même temps... Non, c'est pas ça que je veux, c'est ça ici. On va venir dormir au feu de camp ici. discuter, il va peut-être avoir une conversation.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind.
Hop. Ouais, ouais. On va aller avec le vent, venir ici plus vite. Voilà, on va se faire un petit stock de tout ça. La star. Moi, je veux acheter 3 de Grape Gel. Peut-être bon, ça.
You can never be too prepared. But did we
Oui, j'ai toujours besoin de dépenser l'entièreté de mon argent. J'ai besoin de me faire la remarque à chaque fois, je...
I wonder if you're as soft as you look.
Il y a du nouveau dans les contenus téléchargeables? Ouais. Au final, je suis pas sûr si moi actuellement les... Ah non, ça c'est pour les tenues. On m'en fout un petit peu des tenues. Il y a toutes des conversations qu'on a manquées. Pas de l'air, non? On va voir qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire. Ouh! Omelette! Un de mes repas préférés actuellement. J'adore tout ce qui contient des œufs.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
J'adore les omelettes. Grinwell.
Grinwell, mind if we chat a little?
Et
Noodle,
du coup...
let me know if you sense anything.
Enfin, m'a pu lire un petit peu avec Grinwell. Ça va y faire du bien de lire un petit peu.
Another gold.
Bon, on va se téléporter ici. J'ai-tu vu une place que j'ai pas activé? Ah non, c'est un peu plus loin.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Hop! I'm purple now! Ok. Personne dans le chat? Est-ce que je vois?
Hi, Hoodle.
Ok.
Hi, Crazy Noodle.
Hop! Punch! Oups! Non, c'est pas ça que je veux non plus. On va faire ça ici à cette heure.
You see what happened there is you
Ah, ok.
Raging Cascade.
Ok, fait que dans le fond, ce pouvoir-là de Dolly me pose des mines.
lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
Donc c'est me montrer qu'à poser lorsqu'il y a du monde qui te fonce dessus.
One deadly strike, just as a
Oups!
Little help.
Allez! Voilà! C'est ça que je voulais.
Can you take it? The Tempest engulfs you. Exploit the enemy's weakness.
Voilà. Voilà. Il devrait être relativement vite, là. Mais il est déjà mort, fait que c'est pas grave. Boom! Je voulais essayer d'utiliser un pouvoir dessus, mais il est juste mouru trop vite. Il a un peu d'argent encore. Il dit jamais non à de l'argent.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you, Law. No pushing anyone, not even as a joke.
I'm not a little kid.
Vous prenez vraiment pour un abruti ou quoi? Il est quand même respectable, là. Allez. Ok. Oh, ça c'est...
I'll do my best. Dance in the wind.
Ok. Voilà, le plus possible.
Armor won't save you. Crescent flash. Get behind me. Begin. Elusive deep racing.
On va le faire maintenant.
Let a marksman handle it.
All yours.
I'll tear you apart.
Soaring blood.
The enemy wields arcs too.
You'll soon see about
Boom.
that.
Now I'm in the groove. I've let you all down.
Ouch.
Mike with blackened blade.
Chain between heaven and earth.
You picked the
Boom. Boom.
Managed to turn the tide.
For now. But things could shift at a moment's notice.
You're right. Better stay alert.
Ouch. Oh, il y a encore une boule de feu qui s'apprête à me tomber dessus.
Here I come.
Ah, ok.
My watch.
Can you take it? Elusive deity. Soaring blast.
Ah, ok. Faudrait que j'essaie de ramener l'en vie, hein.
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love.
Voilà.
Mike with blackened blood.
Ouch.
What's the
Oh.
secret to being as strong as you?
You're pretty fierce on your own.
Ouch.
But I've still got a ways to go.
Breath of life. Heal my wearied companion.
Ah. Voilà, je vais faire ça ici, moi.
Behold, the earth's hope. Tectonic fission.
The water.
Boom. Voilà.
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis.
Comme toujours, j'ai de la difficulté avec tout ce qui est mage. Hop. Beaucoup de schnots ici, je dirais. Ah, tu peux même construire?
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Ah, ok. On a une tenue ici à cette heure pour Renwell. C'est pas là-dedans, c'est ici. Qui est cette fois-ci meilleure, pour une fois. La dernière fois, c'était pas une meilleure tenue, c'était de la chenoute. C'était de la chenoute en boîte, moi je dis la dernière fois. Oups. Ok. Ah, ben tiens, lève-là, la petite tenante. Ok. Bon. Encore de ces créatures-là. Je pense que c'est ici. Ouais, c'est ici qu'il y a un passage pour descendre. Allons les affronter.
And here I am.
Voilà.
Coming through. Can't get out of
Boum. Boum. On l'a stoppé les deux en même temps. Voilà.
Can you take care of that?
Oh, stop it! Remind me to stay on your good side.
Voilà. Devrait être relativement rapide, là, ce spell-ci.
That's my cue.
Sauf c'est qu'Isara décide de me scraper mon occasion de le lancer. Ah, ça devrait quand même être relativement rapide. Et là, est encore mort. Que je soigne à cette heure. Hop. Là, là, là. Pourquoi faut toujours que j'aille être ressuscité ces derniers temps? Je vais peut-être remplacer là par Alfheim en ce moment.
resuscitation.
Illuminate the
In a bind.
Boom. Boom.
We are freaking invincible.
Alphen and the
Allez.
really are strong.
What about me? Heal my weary companion. Our arts are being interrupted.
Et là, avec celle-là ici, vu que c'est plus rapide. De toute façon, il est mort. Faut juste que je me souvienne c'est quoi mes touches un peu plus. Mais bon, comme je disais là, alors tu vas laisser la place à Alpham vu que... Enfin, une éternité, je vais pas jouer avec Alpham. Mais plus je pense à ce que je fais, puis plus je me dis, il y a des personnages que je joue pas assez avec, il y a des personnages que je joue trop avec. Là, je veux jouer avec Dwalin dans cette live-ci, mais là, Alpham aussi, ça fait une éternité tellement, là. Ouais, non. Ah, ok, voilà. Ah! Voilà.
Nice technique.
Voilà. Ah. Bon, ben, il est mort. Il a posé un piège sur le joueur, là.
Looks like we came out on top.
We just need to make sure we stay there.
Right. And without totally overdoing it.
Hop. Il y a un passage que j'ai raté encore. Là, combien de fois j'ai manqué des passages, moi? Ben, je suis déjà descendu là, en plus. C'est vrai que je suis descendu là? Apparemment, non. Bon, ben, je suis juste aveugle, je dirais. Et à partir du moment où que j'accepte la réalité, je suis aveugle. Ah. Hop. Yeah, ok.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Voilà.
I shall ensure you survive.
Voilà. Faut que je me soigne dans ce temps. Ouch. Hop. Bon, faut que je soigne Alpham.
Heal my wearied companion.
Là, qui meurt. Voilà. Ah. Ah là là. C'est moi qui vais mourir là, à cette heure.
Can't get out of this.
Voilà.
Behold, the earth pulse.
Bam 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 bam.
Tectonic vision.
Faut que je soigne Alpham, faut qu'elle me soigne moi. Voilà. Boum.
Excellent technique.
How are your weapons holding up?
Best not to give me any idea.
Ah, ok. On va soigner qui ça, va. Boum. On va faire ça ici. Ok.
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
Voilà. J'ai déjà pratiquement plus de CP, hein. Je pense que je vais retourner avec juste un heal standard. Non, pas ça. Ce que je veux, c'est remplacer Cure par un simple heal.
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Parce que Cure, ça dépense énormément.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Hop!
Carve through armor. Can't get out of this.
Voilà!
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
Execution.
Boum!
Dance on the wind.
Shield and make.
Allez!
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack.
Indeed, but remain ever vigilant.
Voilà! Voilà! Et on va y refaire ça ici. Boum. À terre, s'il te plaît. Et s'il te plaît, meurs. Voilà. Hop. Voilà.
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Al.
Ok, cette fois-ci, il y en a 2.
No further. This one keeps me up.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
I'll leave it to you.
Instinct shot.
Voilà.
Light up the dark.
On va soigner Kisara. Soigner Alpha.
Like me. I don't have much left. I'll take you all on.
Voilà. Ça va les stun pendant 2 secondes. Ça va les remettre dans le centre aussi. Ou pas. Allez. Voilà. Oh. Ah, ok. Je peux plus soigner. Je peux encore faire de la magie. Voilà. Ah, ok. Alpha va probablement en tuer un là-dedans. Ah, il a tué les 2. C'est ton hey, essaie de tuer les 2 à la place. Ouais. Tu utilises le pouvoir de l'épée, mais le pouvoir de l'épée me fait mal à ma réserve à moi. J'espère qu'il y a un feu de camp un peu plus loin. Il y a des... Bah, il va falloir que j'utilise... Non, ouais, déjà, si je veux traverser ça tout de suite. Je vais pas ça ici, mais... On va le faire. Non, pas panacée, c'est Orange Gel. Voilà. Hop.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well.
Ah, bon à savoir. Oh, Absolute. Absolute garbage.
Some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Pour une fois que c'est pour toi. Hein, enfin? Ah, ok, ça c'est juste pour venir ici plus vite. Un peu décevant, je dirais, honnêtement. Il y a juste à remonter puis aller dans le coin qu'on n'a pas été au fin fond. J'aurais dû mieux observer ma map, honnêtement. On va éviter de faire des allers-retours comme ça. Voilà. Et qu'il va y avoir une roche à affronter là-dedans aussi.
I'll do my best.
Ah! Ah, ok. Ah, ok, nice, nice.
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
Voilà. On va faire ça ici. Ouch.
Can't get out of this.
Allez. Il à terre. Boum. Boum. Ah. Voilà.
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life.
I've used a bit too much healing.
Ah, ok. T'es même pas sur le terrain. Faut que j'aille un peu de toi. Désolé, j'étais parti 2 secondes. Il fallait que j'enlève un lacet avec lequel le chat jouait. Je pouvais pas jouer avec parce que ce lacet-là était trop sale pour elle. Hop, Gold Gel. Dans une place comme ça?
Calcified. Calaglia.
What
Caillou.
kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
Caillou. Calcify. Calaria. C'est pas vraiment un poème, c'est juste nommer des trucs qui commencent par cal. Ouch. Ça va pas faire du bien aux genoux, ça, honnêtement, ce genre de chute-là. Hop. Voilà. Est-ce qu'on est sorti de la montagne? Je pense pas. Non. Oh! Par contre, il va y avoir un boss. Boss fight. On va regarder. Puis on va faire le boss en utilisant Alphem. Puis d'ailleurs, je sais pas pourquoi, je sens que le boss va être... Ah non, ça va être de la roche, je suis pas mal sûr. Je pense pas que ça va être un oiseau. C'est une créature similaire à celle qui avait été créée par le Master Core, non? Ouais, c'est une créature très similaire.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that
C'est
thing
simple,
gets into town,
récupère l'énergie du feu.
we need to take it down and move on. Let's go.
Puis tu l'as dit toi-même, il y a beaucoup d'énergie astrale de terre en même temps, fait qu'il fait probablement les deux, lui.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone.
Comment on est censé l'attaquer?
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Dougal? Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Soaring
Ah, allez, oh, c'est pas celle-là que je voulais. J'ai fait les deux en même temps à la place.
This one's mine! Their arts were interrupted!
Can't take much more.
No further.
The fluidity of your movements is simply incredible.
This one keeps charging us.
That's what my shield's for! Get behind me!
Got it. I'll leave it to you.
Get you all tucked away.
Voilà.
Let me out!
Ça ici. Ouch. Je vais aller m'occuper de celui qui s'attaque à... Wow, j'ai eu beaucoup de dégâts ici, moi. Hein. Allez, fesse!
There you go. No let up.
Be still. You're mine.
Another incantation.
Ouch. Je pense que c'est le temps de faire venir Chion sur le terrain. À terre!
I'm hurt bad!
Voilà. 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 Ah, ok. Là, Dolim a quand même fait une bonne job, honnêtement. Mais je veux Shion sur le terrain. Allez. Allez, c'est quoi que tu prépares, là? Ah, ok. Punch! Out. Voilà. Oh! Allez! Voilà! Bon, fait que... on peut toujours plus se battre, là. Ok, fait qu'il y en a fait apparaître d'autres. Ah, ça c'est facile. Voilà. Voilà. Bon. Voilà. Voilà. On va faire ça ici. Boum. Ouch. Ouch. Voilà. Voilà. Bon. On va revenir dans pas long. Rinwell est morte. Allez, meurs. Voilà, ça c'est mort. Ok, il va probablement refaire spawner d'autres ennemis. Ok, hop. Ok. Ouch. Oh non, je me suis pas fait toucher. Ok, j'ai attiré l'attention de tout le monde ici. Ouch. Voilà. Hop. Je pense honnêtement c'est le temps de d'amener pas l'art. Je voulais ramener Dohalim sur le terrain, mais Dohalim a pas bien plus de santé. Ouch. Voilà. Voilà. Ouch. On va ramener l'art sur le terrain. Allez, tape sur la roche. Ah, ok. Shion sera remplacé par Dohalim du coup. Allez, s'il te plaît. Allez!
My watch.
Boum!
Raging flame!
Raging storm.
Hop! Ouch!
Eat this. Came between heaven and earth.
Voilà!
You're wide
A
open!
wailing banshee of lightning.
Raging flame! Watch this!
Ah, ok. Il vient de voir un problème. Ah, la pot de gel.
I hope this thing is medically approved.
Lightning orb.
Eat dirt!
Ouch! Voilà!
Radiant light! Light up the dark! Raging
Allez!
swallow dance! Watch this! Raging flame!
In here.
Allez! Et on finit de même! Voilà! Ouch!
Talon storm!
Raging storm. All right.
Ouch! Ouch! Je suis mort. Bon. Allez! T'es carré de celui-là!
With light! Burn!
Meurs! Ouch!
You must be rubbing off on me.
Ouch! Ah là là! Je vais reprendre Alphem.
Sealed. Get on here.
Voilà! Allez! Voilà!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Breath of life! Heal my weary companion! Sure!
It's about to strike.
Look sharp, everyone!
Ouch!
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Alvin!
Voilà!
That's enough! Go back down!
Voilà! Elle était relativement faible au final! Il se mangeait un coup sur la tête pis c'est tout ce que ça prend pour le tuer. Au final, j'ai utilisé mon Omega Elixir pour rien.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or maybe part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Bon. Nouveau skill panel? Ouais. On va économiser pour aller ramasser celui-là ici. Et on va ramasser ça ici avec Well. Puis toi, faut que j'aille te ramasser le KO Prevention. Ramasser ça. Puis toi, on esquive. On a pas on esquive, mais on continue.
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best.
Rinwell 42, Law 42. Ben non, Rinwell 43, Law 43, Alphem 42, Kisara pis Dolim qui se rattrape un petit peu, mais pas énormément. Ils sont quand même pas mal en retard. Fait quoi, non, j'ai gaspillé un Omega Galaxy pour vraiment rien pantoute. Fun à savoir, ça. C'est vraiment chiant. Mais pas grand chose que je peux faire avec contre ça à cette heure. J'aurais dû juste me douter, j'imagine. Ben du coup, on va utiliser l'argent qu'on a gagné pour... Aucune armure est meilleure que celle qu'on a, fait que... Et pour un panneau pour Jill.
Did we really just spend that much money?
Arrête donc de chialer, que ça... C'est mon argent! Je fais ce que je veux!
Alvin?
Did you remember something?
Not at all!
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alvin.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
Je comprends à cette heure pourquoi Chion elle hésite, là, à cette heure, en présence de Alphen. Elle veut pas sortir avec un homme de 300 ans. Elle veut pas sortir avec un crouton de 300 ans.
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave? We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
Bon, on a obtenu un fast travel. Allons voir ici. Quand même une belle place. On peut pas voir... Je suppose qu'on peut pas voir quel lag là ici, mais on est capable de voir... ces châteaux... C'est quel château qu'il y a là-bas? Vu la location... vu la localisation, je dirais que ça devrait être le château de... Ah, comment ça s'appelait déjà? C'est pas Menencia, c'est... Attendez un petit peu. Ciceroria. Je crois que ça doit être celui-là. Ou c'est peut-être actuellement Pelagian, mais je pense pas. Pelagian était sur le bord de plage. Puis c'est clairement pas Niaz. Plein de même. Ça se peut-tu que ce soit actuellement Pelagian? C'est dommage que j'aie pas actuellement une vraie world map. Si j'aurais une vraie world map, j'aurais pu voir où c'est qu'on se trouve actuellement. Il y a aussi pas grand chose d'autre à faire que ça. Bon, on va aller là.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegus? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegus.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken. And this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegus and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegus?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegus who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegus. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns. Shion?
Huh? Yeah.
Sont-ils tous en train de dormir comme ça?
Where? Shion?
Je pense que c'est Pelagian. Your party disbanded.
Where'd Shion go?
Je pense pas, honnêtement. Où c'est que c'est... C'est Slowden. Faut voir... on n'a pas de bonne vision du château, mais...
How could she just go off on her own?
Ça se peut que ce soit ici Slowden. Moi, je pense pas que ce soit ici Slowden. Mais ça se pourrait. Ah non, au final, c'est peut-être... C'est probablement c'est Slowden. Oups. Ah non, c'est Pelagian. Slowden avait une grosse tour pour... ben, avait des grosses tours dans toutes les directions. Là, on n'en voit pas, là. C'est Pelagian.
Shion! It's your thorns? But why?
You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
N'attirera pas. Attachez-la! Qu'on l'enferme! Mettez-la dans une cage et lancez-y des tomates! On en a plein notre inventaire.
Stabbed by Rolron.
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time. The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how... How is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis. When the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Alvin?
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else too.
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
Oudon, on est le plus puissant de toute la gang!
I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys.
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope. Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago.
No, I am the maiden from 300
Seems
years
very
ago.
likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take
Ah, dis-moi pas, je vais encore me faire...
thorns and she'll live.
Only possible.
Je vais encore me faire... attendez un petit peu.
Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it.
Yeah.
I've already lost everything I had once.
Désolé, là, mais... Je peux pas vous laisser le son à cause du fait que la musique...
No matter what happens from now on, I'm right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys. You're all so stubborn.
Vraiment désolé, je peux pas faire grand chose à cause de la musique, là. Ce serait quand même le fun. De toute façon, toi, je vais bloquer le son si, si je le laissais anyway, fait que...
For right now, a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
Au moins, il laisse quand même énormément de temps pour que vous puissiez le lire. Mais encore là, comme je disais, la musique est finie, fait que je peux remettre le son. Voilà. Vraiment désolé, mais j'ai pas envie là, que le son soit coupé à cause du fait que de cette musique. Si jamais j'ai suffisamment de vues à partir d'un moment, ces vidéos-là vont probablement finir par toucher ou whatever. Si je commence à avoir du monde qui s'abonne. Fait que. Ouais. Allons parler à là en premier.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
Because I can do it all!
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point. But I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
Vraiment, honnêtement, j'adore là. Stay focused, Alphen. We got stuff to do. It's not gonna do anyone's good if we let ourselves get overwhelmed by what's going on. J'adore là. Vraiment mon personnage préféré à date.
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
No, not really.
If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Pa-pa-da-pa-da. Tu-tu-du. Que ça va?
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, That doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion
I'm
doesn't know how lucky
masochist.
she is to have you around, you know. Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
Yeah, when we were putting daggers in your back, you still kept holding us.
Killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Ah, ok. Pas mal parler à Dwalin, on peut partir tout de suite. Let's take back what's been stolen from us. Qu'est-ce que t'avais à dire, toi, Gunwell? It'd be nice if everyone came together to support each other. The Legion!
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Mais bien. Fait que, il va juste rester Shion, j'imagine? Ouais. I wonder what awaits us on the other side once all the pieces have been assembled. Bien. Shion! Look at me! I'm gonna jump off! And do a splash!
Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
Nope.
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the Blazing Sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renin. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore.
At least not alone. I'm gonna take you on with me!
Who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Dahnans and Renins, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you, until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Maybe not too high, but too thick, maybe.
Everyone well rested?
Ah oui.
Then let's go.
Faut quand même
Depart
juste...
for Lenegis.
Oui, je veux dormir un peu. Une dernière nuit qu'on va passer sur...
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shion in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
Alright, I think that's enough fun for one day.
Merde!
I'll see you again tomorrow.
Je voulais juste m'assurer qu'il n'y avait pas une conversation ici, mais apparemment non. C'est quand même drôle.
Days like this are made for fishing.
Days like this are rather loud.
Ouais, c'est le temps qu'on y aille. On va voir probablement une autre belle cinématique où on va voir le vaisseau décoller vers le ciel.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that! You're going to jinx us!
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have 2 goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shionne's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? Alright, then let's go.
Est-ce que comique qu'on arrive là-bas puis que c'est déjà tout réduit, tout détruit à cause de 300 ans? Ça m'étonnerait, là, du coup. Ça m'étonnerait énormément que Alfheim, pendant son moment d'inconscience, après être devenu souverain, qui a actuellement été capable de détruire quasiment l'intégralité des Dahnan.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Dahnans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be alright with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Your party is bad! Encore!
Okay, Shionne? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Ah, ok, on va aller explorer le vaisseau un petit peu. Ces deux-là sont là. The Round Table. Il y a quelqu'un dans le fin fond, ça doit être Kisara en train de faire de la bouffe. Pas Kisara en train de faire de la bouffe, Kisara en train de regarder probablement les cellules pour dormir.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean... you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Oh, I looked away already. Mais bien. Fait que ça, c'était. Je pensais que c'était des places pour dormir, mais au final, c'est des places pour se soigner. Conversation ici avec les deux.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Oh là là. Je m'attendais pas nécessairement exactement à ça. On va parler de Dwalin, puis après ça, on va finir avec Shion.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
Ou on va faire Shion et finir avec Dwalin.
What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. That's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight.
Loser!
Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
Mais tellement, il y a un perdant. Les Renan sont perdants.
That means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this.
Vous êtes déjà dans les étoiles. Vous êtes dans l'espace! Hey, pilote, c'est quoi que t'as à dire?
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address.
There's a lot of light that's been planted. There was a lot of light that's being popping up around on every computer there, and I don't know what to do. I've been pressing button randomly, and all it seems to do is make more lights pop on. So now I think we're gonna crash. To be honest, I really do. Ok, c'est pas Shion que je voulais parler, c'est encore une fois Dohalim. Hey, j'ai pas ça, toi. Hey, Dohalim.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dahna. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dahna even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Dahnan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, Are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Rennis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Rennis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
Bien, bien, bien. Toujours personne sur le chat. Le live a pas l'air de laguer. Tout se passe bien.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Rennis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Rennis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Rennis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Rennis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
I'm a sovereign!
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Ok, Oh,
Beyond that
conversation!
wall is a city full of Renins. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
On va faire la conversation.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Hey, Jimmy!
Such a loudmouth. You sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
Zoogle?
Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Ok. Faire une petite sauvegarde. On va continuer peut-être encore juste 5 à 10 minutes, histoire qu'on voit un peu à quoi ressemble Lanagus. Et après ça, on va s'arrêter. Un peu plus long que les lives de d'habitude, mais ce sera pas un live jusqu'à 3 heures. Pas 3 heures, mais ce sera pas un live jusqu'à 1 heure. Sérieusement? Ah, peut-être que quand ça a changé de forme, ça a détruit... ça a commencé à détruire la ville. Vraiment pas ça à quoi je m'attendais, honnêtement.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegus changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
They don't care.
I think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Lead the way!
You've seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
Probablement son amie fille.
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegus are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegus has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Ah, ok.
The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
Pas mal, oui. Tu rappelles-toi, t'es sur Lenegis. Is Lenegis done for? The residential quarter is falling apart. Beaucoup de blessés, en tout cas. What? Ah. With everything all topsy-turvy in the residential quarter, there are a lot of injuries. Stuff keep dropping on people and they're also falling down. I'm old! And bald!
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Il y en a pas! Il y en a plus de crown contest. Oh! Je peux soigner quelqu'un? In all my years, never have I seen such potent healing art. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me. Fancy parfait recipe.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Il y a personne qui soigne aussi bien que Shion. Huh? Where am I? I just went out for a walk, but now I don't know where I am. I don't know. Everything's falling apart and look completely different. I can't get a hold on of mothers and father either. You have nothing to fear, kid. I'm sure there's a reason for everything that's going on. But even the Zul are running loose. That seems dangerous. The Zul are nothing more than our servant. They may have gotten out, but I assure you, I'll have them back under control before long. If you kids consider yourself to be proud of the Renan, then be brave. We'll have the situation fixed before you know it.
Avec un prince.
Là?
C'est un prince.
C'est tellement un lord. C'est pas un prince, c'est tellement... Si je veux, regarde.
Seigneur.
Oui, c'est un seigneur. Tellement, regarde, je peux changer son truc. C'est un accessoire que j'ai mis, la couronne.
Ah.
C'est un peu comme ça, c'est pas vraiment un démon. Si je veux, tout le monde peut être... tout le monde peut être roi! T'as vu ton bouclier?
Ah, c'est des oreilles de chauve-souris.
C'est pour ça que le bouclier s'appelle The Feline Bastion.
C'est des oreilles de chauve-souris, moi je dis.
It's Feline Bastion.
J'ai compris, mais il me semble que ça a l'air plus des oreilles de chauve-souris.
Comme je disais, tout le monde peut être roi. Et si tu te poses la question de pourquoi lui j'ai mis des oreilles de loup.
Ok, ouais, il a l'air plus d'un chien. La petite queue tire-bouchon!
Tout le monde est... Pourquoi la salle de Chion est toute petite?
Peut-être parce que tu l'avais setupé ses accessoires pour être plus petit.
Non, pas en tout. J'ai pas setupé ses accessoires. Tu peux pas setuper ses accessoires.
Ok, fait que juste une petite de base.
Ouais. Fait que Chion a une toute petite couronne à cette heure, là, une couronne au-dessus de son chapeau de paille!
Épée.
Dorim a une couronne à cette heure. Tout le monde a une couronne!
Oh my god.
Puis je peux même faire mieux pour lui. Voilà. Angry glasses. Giggle glasses. Swirly glasses. Sad glasses. Ok, en tout cas, je vais remettre ces affaires comme qu'ils étaient. Chose de ça, c'est que je n'y remettrai... Oh, je peux mettre ça à la place. Peut-être pas sur lui, je vais peut-être mettre ça plus avec Renwell. Je pourrais y mettre genre juste un set d'ailes, mais la dernière fois que j'ai foutu des ailes, c'était juste beaucoup trop. Devil Horn. The Crown. Faut remplacer la couronne. C'est quoi que j'y avais mis à l'origine? Ah oui, j'avais foutu le Halo. Puis toi, on va te mettre ça ici. Dommage que je peux pas le mettre sur une épaule à la place. Toi, retourne avec tes oreilles. Voilà. Puis on va remettre ici. Arr. Spotted Cat. Voilà. Voilà! Non, honnêtement, j'ai pas envie de l'avoir de même. Le Hello. Puis honnêtement, j'ai plus envie d'avoir le bandage sur ses yeux non plus. Voilà. Bon, on va faire cette dernière conversation-là.
Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
I wonder if they'll put the current crown contest on hold. On va faire cette dernière conversation-là, puis on va s'arrêter.
It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Et au final, il y en a encore une autre. Fait qu'on va s'arrêter après avoir fini toutes les conversations.
Wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Ok. Bon, ben, comme je disais, on va s'arrêter là. Fait que... J'espère que le live vous aura plu. Whoops. Ah, tiens. J'espère que le live vous aura plu. On se retrouve demain soir pour un live sur Fire Emblem. Il n'y aura pas de live demain matin parce que je dois travailler demain, malheureusement. Et la fin de semaine, ben, le samedi prochain aussi, je vais devoir travailler. Alors, du coup, on se verra pas non plus samedi matin. Samedi prochain, durant la matinée. On se verra seulement dans la soirée. Fait que, ben, c'est pas mal ça. Si j'aurais eu du monde dans le chat, j'aurais pu proposer, ben en soi, s'il y a du monde qui veulent, parce que là, en ce moment, je fais beaucoup de matchs sur Advance War by Web. Fait que si vous voulez si vous jouez actuellement à ça et que vous voulez me trouver, pour ceux qui regardent la rediff, c'est pas bien compliqué. Vous tapez mon pseudo, c'est Fox737, vous avez juste à m'envoyer un message et me proposer un match et je le ferai avec vous. Mais ben ça me dérangera pas de faire un match. Mais bon. Pas mal sûr qu'il n'y a pas grand monde qui va entendre ce message, qui va avoir écouté le live jusque-là, vu que mes lives sont très rarement vus. Mais bon, c'est pas grave. Là qu'on se retrouve demain pour du Fire Emblem. Avec ça, je vous dis à la prochaine et ciao!